If you've been struggling with PRI exercises and you haven't seen the results you want, or exercises that you see on my channel, then you're probably not alone, because there's some common things that happen within these exercises that should be addressed and are often limiters to success. This past weekend, I was taking a PRI course in Seattle, and it really brought me back to the basics in the sense of what people tend to do when they execute these exercises and what needs to be kept in mind the most when we do them. These exercises work really well for a lot of people because they are fairly complex and they're respecting a lot of systems within the body and a lot of structures within the body. That means that we're going after the brain, the nervous system, skeletal position, muscular function as it relates to that skeletal position. But because they're so complex, that's also the downside of them. There's a lot to think about. So to make it simple for you, the number one thing I see go wrong in these exercises is that people try too hard. And I've been guilty of this myself too. People try to power through these exercises a lot of the times. They think more force is better, or more sensation of the muscles that we're trying to feel, or more awareness of the references we're trying to feel is better, and that's not necessarily the case. These exercises are really neurological in nature. That means that we're trying to create references and associations with those references within specific positions of the skeleton so that the nervous system can then accept those changes and integrate them into movement. Let me give you a basic example with an exercise many people are familiar with. That would be the left side lying knee toward knee. What we're trying to do within this exercise is facilitate a push from the right side and then an accepting of that weight to the left side, but in a side lying position, because we need to start with lots of references. If I stood someone up too quickly, they wouldn't be able to do this in an upright position most likely. So starting on the floor is a great place to feel the references we want to feel without making it too challenging. I'm going to be using this left foot for both sides, so just keep that in mind. With the right side, what we're trying to do is create an awareness of this right intermedial arch right here. What we're teaching the body to do is say, hey, when my right foot's on the ground and I am going into mid-stance, I need to create pronation of my right foot and move from a position of internal rotation to a push-off with external rotation. Pronation, tibial internal rotation, to a push-off with the glute into tibial external rotation. So that is a push from right to left. On the left side, we're trying to create awareness of the left heel, because in order for us to push from right to left, we have to accept that weight onto our left side. Now, that doesn't mean that we're pushing those things as hard as we can into the wall and trying to create a maximal glute contraction. If we push really hard, or as hard as we can, into the wall with those references, and we start to feel our glute maximally contract, then most likely what we're going to be doing is contracting a bunch of muscles around that back hip on the right side. And on the left side, we're probably going to be feeling more than just our adductor. We're going to be feeling a lot of other muscles try to maximize that internal rotation, which is not what we want. This high degree of effort will also cause us to have more sympathetic input or fight or flight response. And that's not what we want either, because parasympathetic input in these types of activities is going to lead to neurological change. So we want generally parasympathetic tone, because that's more likely to lead to neurological change. That leads me to my second most common mistake that I see, and it's that people don't focus enough on those references that we talk about within these exercises. So people will often think about, okay, I need to feel my right glute, but I'm not really worried about what I need to feel on my foot, or what I need to feel within my trunk, or what I need to feel on my left foot to help facilitate that. It's really important that we understand the association we're trying to make. And if we can't feel those things working together, then it is much less likely we're going to get a change. A really good cue I like to creating the right amount of awareness is the word sense. Sense rather than feel, because anyone can feel something. I can try and contract my glute and feel that working. But if I sense my arch working with my glute, if I sense my left heel, that creates more of this delicacy. It creates more of this softness to that cue. Finally, the last thing is that they forget about their breathing. This is really, really important. This is why when anyone walks into this gym on the first day and their goals are to improve their movement, I'm gonna lay them on the ground in a 90-90 or hook lying position and teach them how to breathe first. I have a video on that on my channel you can check out. I'll link it down below. But I want someone to know how to do this first, because that is the first step to getting that parasympathetic input I referred to earlier. What I often see is people their way through these exercises, and that's not what we want. That's more sympathetic fight or flight tone. That's hyperventilating. What we really want is to exhale and kind of sigh it out. I should gently hear it. And then a nice gentle inhale. I should not hear that inhalation. We can maximize this by getting a pause between the exhale and the inhale, about 3 to 5 seconds, because what that does is it creates more of an opportunity for the diaphragm to do its job, to descend and ascend, but it also, and more importantly, creates more awareness of the references we're going through. It slows us down a little bit so that we can think about what we're doing and create the associations between those references and those muscles. So if you're stuck, I hope that helps, and I would bet you if you're struggling to create a change within your assessment results or how you just generally feel after these exercises, if you incorporate these things, you will see much better things happen.